Have you ever caught yourself in the mirror and thought, when did I start looking like this? Maybe it was a new line near your eyes, a little less spring in your step, or the realization that birthdays seem to come around a little faster than they used to. It's easy to look at aging as a slow fade, like the best years are behind us and all that's left is maintenance. Slower walking, more doctor visits, less energy. But here's something no one says enough. Aging well doesn't mean looking young. It means living fully. And believe it or not, many people who think they're slipping are actually aging better than they realize. In this video, we're going to talk about what aging well really looks like. Not the airbrushed version you see in commercials, but the real signs that show your mind, body, and spirit are still thriving. Some of these signs are subtle, others are easy to overlook, but all of them tell a powerful story. Let's start with something simple. You still have curiosity. If you find yourself asking questions, trying new things, learning, even just a new recipe or app on your phone, you're doing far better than you think. Curiosity is a sign of mental vitality. It means your brain is still hungry for input. It hasn't shut down or resigned. It's engaged, reaching for something new. And that's huge, because people who age poorly often lose that spark. They stop exploring, they stop growing. But if you're still saying things like, I've never done this before, but I'll give it a try, you're not just maintaining, you're evolving. Another sign, you still laugh. It might sound small, but laughter, real belly-deep laughter, is a powerful indicator that your emotional health is intact. If you can still find humor in everyday life, if you still enjoy a silly joke or chuckle when the dog does something ridiculous, that's resilience. That's joy. That's aging well, because life doesn't get easier with time. But if you can still laugh through the messiness of it, even on the days that aren't picture perfect, then you've built something strong inside. And that strength protects you more than any medication or diet ever could. Now let's talk about pain. Not avoiding it, but how you respond to it. One of the most underestimated signs of aging well is emotional flexibility. If you've been through loss, change, disappointment, and you've found ways to keep going, to keep showing up, to still care about the world around you, that is not weakness. That is wisdom in motion. So many people carry the weight of grief, loneliness, or regret as they get older. But if you're still able to make space for love, for connection, for hope, then you haven't been hardened by life. You've been refined by it, and that matters deeply. So the next time you think, I'm just getting old, pause. Ask yourself, am I still curious? Do I still laugh? Do I still love, even after all I've been through? Because if the answer is yes, you're not fading. You're aging well. And here's another sign, one that might surprise you. You set boundaries now. Maybe you used to say yes to every invitation, every favor, every person who needed something from you. But now, you pause. You think. You ask yourself, does this feel right for me? And if it doesn't, you say no, and you don't apologize for it. That's not selfishness. That's self-respect. And here's the truth. Many people spend most of their younger years trying to please everyone around them. They stay quiet when something bothers them. They bend themselves into shapes that don't feel natural just to keep the peace. But if you've started protecting your time, your peace, your energy, you're showing one of the clearest signs of emotional maturity. You've learned that your well-being matters too, that your presence is valuable, but it doesn't need to be stretched thin to be worthy. This kind of growth doesn't come from reading a book or watching a video. It comes from living, from learning the hard way what burns you out. And finally, giving yourself permission to say, not anymore. And speaking of permission, here's another quiet but powerful sign you're aging well. You've stopped chasing perfection. You don't expect yourself or others to have it all together. You've made peace with the mess. Maybe your house isn't as spotless as it used to be. Maybe your to-do list has more crossed-out plans than completed tasks. But instead of beating yourself up about it, you're learning to let go. You've realized that joy often lives in the ordinary moments. A slow morning, a phone call with a friend, a hot drink in silence. And instead of rushing toward what's next, you're settling into what's now. That shift, from striving to savoring, is a deep soul-level sign of someone who's aging with grace. And while we're here, let's not forget the body. Yes, you may not move like you once did. Your knees might creak, your back might ache. But if you're still moving, still taking walks, still stretching when you can, still choosing to take care of yourself in small ways, you're doing better than you think. There's no medal for going to the gym at 70. But there is pride in getting up, brushing your teeth, and deciding to stay active in whatever way feels good for you. If your body still responds to kindness, if it still benefits from water, a stretch, a good night's sleep, then there's a whole world of wellness still available to you. And that's what aging well really is. Not absence of struggle, but the presence of awareness. The ability to see what's still working, what's still beautiful, what's still yours. Because when you begin to notice those things, really notice them, you start seeing yourself differently too. And if there's one sign that often goes unnoticed, but carries more weight than almost anything else, it's this. You still care. You care about your family, about your neighbors, about what's happening in the world. You care about doing things well, about making a difference, about showing up for others even when it's inconvenient. You still feel deeply, and even though your circle might be smaller now, your heart hasn't shrunk with it. That kind of care isn't weakness. It's strength layered over years of living. It shows that life hasn't made you numb, it's made you real. And that realness, the way you hold people in your thoughts, the way you keep calling, checking in, showing up, that's one of the surest signs you're not just aging, you're growing. And sometimes that growth doesn't feel like much. Shows up in the way you stop comparing yourself to others, or how you finally let go of old guilt you've carried for years. Maybe it's how you forgive faster now, or how you no longer need to win every argument to feel secure. These subtle changes are easy to overlook, especially in a world that's obsessed with youth, speed, and surface. But make no mistake, these are markers of deep, meaningful growth. The kind that doesn't fade, the kind that can only come from a life truly lived. So if you've been feeling like you're falling behind, like your best days are in the rearview mirror, I want you to stop and consider this. Aging well doesn't always look like glowing skin or perfect health. Sometimes it looks like resilience, quiet joy, grace under pressure. Waking up with a sense of purpose, even if it's just to water your plants or call a friend. And if you recognized even one of the things we talked about today, curiosity, laughter, presence, boundaries, compassion, then you're doing just fine. In fact, you're doing beautifully, so please give yourself credit. You've made it through more than most people will ever know. You've kept going when it would have been easier to quit. You've learned, adapted, softened, grown, and you're still here, still trying, still shining in your own quiet way. If this message spoke to you, I'd love to hear which part felt most true. Leave a comment. Let's build a space here where aging is not something to hide from, but something to share, to celebrate, and to walk through together. And if you found this video helpful, click like, subscribe to the channel, and pass it along to someone you love. You never know who might need a little reminder that they're doing better than they think. Here's to growing older with heart, with humor, and with pride. You're not getting old, you're getting real. And the world still needs that. Here's to living your best life at every age.